Okay, we are starting with episode 2 of the Turnabout Airlines. No, wait, sorry, episode 2 of the Miles Edgeworth game. And it's episode 2 of Turnabout Airlines. Okay, airlines? Are we on a plane? Also, the first case, oh my god, I'm such a dumbass, man. Literally, there was so many stuff, it was so obvious, but I was not reading properly for some reason, so I looked like a complete dumbass when the answer was so, like, obvious. So I'll try to lock in. I guess I was not completely locked in the first episode, but I will be locked in for Turnabout Airlines. So let's get into it. Oops, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Turnabout Airlines, turnabout. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 days ago. Ooh. 2 days earlier. Okay, we're going back in time. Huh? Oh no. Oh no. Are you going to be accused of murder? Oh, dude. How many times, man? Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying, GoU Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers, please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. Oh. Murder on the airplane, that's crazy. March 12, 6:13 a.m. Flight G390, first floor lounge. Okay, I think he was sitting here, he didn't get enough time to go back to his seat. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? Oh, you're gonna go into another nightmare, don't worry. 6:13, huh? I guess I was out cool for about 10 minutes, huh? Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. So admittedly, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. Oh yeah, oh, it's traumatic. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? They were trying to frame you! My head. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Huh! From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator! Oh god, oh my god, you're going through a lot, Edgeworth. What was I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, in the elevators where his dad died. Oops, and he thought he had killed his dad. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. Oh yeah, I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. Not how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. Oh, what in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. Eek! He's dead? Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. Oh no. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! No, you have it all wrong. It wasn't me. Yeah. March 12, 6:41 a.m. Flight G390, second floor, first class. Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenero. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. Minor? An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse and it was a murder. What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. Edward's just tied up on the corner over there. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence, so until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off. Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit, Edgeworth. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor and I assure you I'm not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here. I'm not the killer. I simply found the body. So you say, however, I'm sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just idly sit by while I get accused of murder. Miss De Niro, is it? Yes? I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance to do what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense? Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good, very well then. Let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. Ooh, what Miss De Niro saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder of the murder weapon. That's the wine, isn't it? So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. What Miss De Niro saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant.
Hold it!
Tell me, what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you? Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Services like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism. But I'm sure you've already realized that by now, right? It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism when I'm the one under suspicion. And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm certain you're the killer. Why? You certainly seem sure of yourself. Of course, a professional flight attendant can't afford to make mistakes after all. Perhaps, but you must admit there are few who can look at a murder with this clear mind. The attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collected. They'll even calmly serve you coffee if you so wish as the plane makes a splashdown. I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency. Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers. But I'm a passenger too. That is the duty of all professional flight attendants. You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony? The scene I saw in front of the elevator.
Hold it!
Yes? What did you see in front of the elevator? That's what I was just about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, framed by the elevator's doors and bathed in the light coming from within. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping out of the murder weapon.
Hold it!
The murder weapon dripping with blood? Really now? I swear that was a grisly scene I saw before me. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'll be widespread panic by now. As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. Excuse me? You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder. Nonsense! Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and I'm now listening to your defense, all with a smile. Apparently you also lie with a smile on your face. Wait, do I have even anything to present? Oh! Picked up on the floor in front of the elevator. It isn't mine, so whose is it? 45 6:15 AM. Said the rest stop is the first floor lounge. Meals, movies, and other services inside. All times should correspond to our departure time zone. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over as soon as you can. I'm not the culprit, and yet you would keep these restraints on me? Mr. Edgeworth, please try to understand what kind of situation you're in right now. And what exactly is my situation? I have the backing of the captain to keep you bound in this way. We are within our legal right to restrain anyone who might threaten our captain mid-flight. In essence, you are in the same situation as someone who has been arrested by the police. So I have to stay restrained until I can clear up all of her doubts. At least I'm close. Her mistake shines like a silver lining on a dark rain cloud. And I'm going to capture some of the light with evidence. But there is no blood on him. The victim was seated in first class Excel, but I don't know his name. Do I present this? Wait, actually, let me see. I don't trust myself anymore. Okay, let's present. Objection! Oh my god, I suck balls! What is the murder weapon? Wait, can I... The murder weapon seems like this golden thingy here, Goyu Airlines. Do I say that the murder weapon is the wallet? But how can you kill someone with a wallet? Is it this? Objection! Yup. Mr. Nero? What is with the yelling all of a sudden? Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Mr. Nero, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sent a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks like a little big and it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Mr. Nero. What? Impossible. Now then, do you still think I'm the killer that I killed him with a travel wallet? But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did. As you can see, the wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'll agree it's only grape juice. Then... That's right, you mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There, that should clear up the pesky accusation. Don't hold it, man. Wait just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and the tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself. She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Mr. Nero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. Okay. Grape juice stains the outer cover. True, it was I who dropped in the juice, however, I didn't do it out of ill intentions. Wait, I want to open it. How does one open it? Oh wait, from here. It seems that his passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there is nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is Republic of Virginia. Type P, surname Hicks. Agby Hicks. Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Agby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you? How dare you? You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Oh, brother. Mr. Nero's logic. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? But I'm rich. So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me. I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Let us press. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet.
Hold it!
Shouldn't that be proof enough for you that I did not murder the victim? Not at all. Oh, and why not? Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the video.
Hold it!
You think I stole it? Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, and I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'll see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief. Man, a lot of thief stuff going on nowadays. Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage. It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks' wallet. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple.
Hold it!
I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. I've never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is this one flight. But that is more than enough of a reason. How do you figure? He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? But I'm also on first class. You think I was after his money? Where did that kokamami idea come from? What the hell is that word? True, you're also a passenger in first class, but I thought something was off about you and those deeply etched lines on your forehead. Bro, he's just stressed. They're not lines, they're perfectly normal and a part of my natural face. I don't think I've ever met someone with such a terrible countenance on a flight before. And that's when it hit me. You have the face of someone with money trouble. She really is making a fool of herself pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present a piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. Okay, what is... I don't know, man. There is but a passport inside this, so only there's a password, so I don't think am I just gonna steal something for a passport? Present.
Objection!
I wonder if I might get a word in, Mr. Nero. What is it now? Mr. Nero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? Simply put, as you saw with your own eyes, the only thing inside Mr. Hicks' wallet was his passport. Ah! If I really was after his money, then why would I steal the penniless travel wallet? But that's right. You, Mr. Edgeworth, you didn't know it was empty when you stole it. You would like to think that, but that's not possible. What do you mean it's not possible? There is no way the killer didn't know that the wallet was empty to begin with. Oh, and what makes you so sure? How can I show her that the killer knew the wallet to be empty from the get-go? What? Oh, because the money is all outside, right? The money is all outside.
Take that!
If you would recall the crime scene, I admit that the wallet was probably not empty at the time of the murder. That's pretty evident by the bills and cards strewn around the inside of the elevator. Oh no! I think you've come to realize the problem with your logic. I would surmise that the victim's wallet fell out during their struggle, and that's when its contents emptied onto the floor of the elevator. I doubt the killer could have missed such an occurrence. Then you're saying... Yes, according to your supposition, if I were the killer, I would have been going after a wallet I knew to be empty. And since I clearly was not attempting to gather the scattered money, it renders your argument of theft completely invalid. I... Forgive me! Please! Forgive me, please! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? That guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick. Will you all please be quiet? Mr. Nero. Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought that I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you for releasing me. What the hell? What is it now? What the hell is this? Mr. Nero, if you could please translate, I'll be much obliged. It sounds like Borginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he's giving the runabout. I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well. See? You, the attendant. Yes, sir. I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. You weirdo. Sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I'm finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I should hope I'm not monetarily bankrupt, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I'm Zinc LeBlanc too. I'm a very wealthy man in the Virginia. I'm not an ordinary rich man. I'm an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When he said that Mr. Edward was giving me the runabout, I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I don't have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it, yes I did. I saw the victim go onto the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of that time? At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6? Ah, what's the matter, Mr. Edward? He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Well, a little after that patch of turbulence, I would say around 6:15. Ah! Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in that 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at the time was this prosecutor, yes? Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too, I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. I was still eating, still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No compliant, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence? Mr. Edward, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you're quite certain in what you saw, enough to give testimony? Of course, I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying little small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that's what people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click. From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone, a laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand, not a fragment of beauty. All it produces ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. Mr. Nero? Yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think this is how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there is a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved. Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. You are not planning to erase the evidence when you are doing an investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha! We will see. Someone who is so diligently, like, accusing someone of a murder which they haven't even seen. They just saw the guy going down the elevator. I think he's done. There is something he's hiding. Mr. Edward, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene. What? Unbelievable. I'm in your debt, Mr. Nero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I am still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to use Why to Talk. It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. Let's go! We have the attendant lady. Wait, what's her name? Rhoda Tinero. Wait, I've been saying her name, man. We can go this way. Oh, no! I wanted to talk to the people. March 12, 7:26 a.m. Flight G390, first floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. You standing with me hasn't changed one iota. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that. We reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you're not making progress. And when we do, he asks would you please return to your seat at the time. My time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? You have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff key card. And we found no record of a key card being used at all. Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Begin investigation, first floor lounge. Now then, let's get started. You know what? There's one thing before we start. I really wish we could go to... I really want to go on a plane which has 2 floors. Or like many floors. I'm interested. I don't know why it sounds cool. Where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hick, it means that the killer was around somewhere. What clues points to where the killer could have been? Oh. If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. What is over here? The in-fight shop is just beyond these shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. There must still be clues to be found here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. I want to go back upstairs. Okay, I go upstairs. This door leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of women's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great, however to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door. Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you saying that you are not affected by women's perfume and instead affected by men's perfume, Edgeworth? Not just any man, it has to be someone with spiky hair, named Phoenix, right? Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry I spaced out for a second there. Okay, let's check this. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There is quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you. I've been warning you for the sake of clearing my team. Okay, let's check this. These countless windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Then tell me what you suppose I said to them. I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation. The clouds, they tell me nothing. Oh, this is the thing we have. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. It's something for grammar, but even I don't know what it is. I'm as bad as the normal people. This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive. That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box. But its keys to press along with its music as though there really is someone playing it. Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Let's check this. This toppled over chair, yet another victim of the turbulence. Ah, no, look at all that grape juice stain in the back. You may not look it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was? Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair. I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. Wait, who are Rocker Pals? Who are they implying in this band? I can't think of any right now. They added the Pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens. Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. I don't think he knows. Let's check what this is. The hat and what? Wait, I'm trying to... What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of GoYo Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes. The one on the left is when he was in his 40s and the other one of him is in his 80s. They look the same though. The man aged at all over these 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second, and I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut it off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know since I was unconscious for most of it. Why were you unconscious? Was it because of the trauma, so you just like fainted, or was it... did somebody hit you on the head, or were you like so wine drunk that you fainted? A pity that a bronze statue knows not when good drink has been spilled at its feet. This is a statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo Hughes, who was a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would be thrilled if he knew so much grape juice was here at his feet. Is that a hint of hero worshipping I detect? Okay, nothing. Okay, there's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edward? I found some very important evidence. What is the important evidence in this scene? Footsteps, 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 footsteps.
Take that!
What is it? It's a little smudged, but I think we can both agree there's a set of footprints. So you think... Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. But it's going this way, so maybe. Okay, let's go in and check, finally. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires flight crew keycard. So I feel maybe somebody from the crew must have killed him. Because how can they... because they can access places. So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? Because body was found inside the elevator, which connects one floor and... okay, one floor with second floor. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay, let's examine the money first. Money strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. What is this? Oh, I thought this was going to be important. This card looking thing. Must be a credit or debit card. What is this sinister looking figure on the floor here? Oh, there's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Captain Hugo. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This blanket is limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? Blood is on, it's still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? Okay. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. So Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer, yes. I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Okay, I couldn't make a connection with that. Even his glasses are broken. Okay. What is this? I wonder what was hanging off this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now if I could just put my finger on it. There's no grape juice residue on the soles of his shoes, making it highly unlikely that Mr. Hicks entered this elevator after the turbulence. Checking. Anything else? I think we're done. I think we can do some logic stuffy. Murder weapon, and blunt force trauma. Connect. Yep. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with a wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the master of the obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is a murder weapon. I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. Julia display in flight shop found at the crime scene with blood on it. What clues point to where the killer could have been? Oh wait, this thing in there. There's something sticking out of his pocket. I hope he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Find the victim's pocket. A souvenir picture, perhaps? Or deduce. Oh, there's something to deduce. Should I press this? Do I do the obvious and press this? And press this? Eureka! This client here completely contradicts this piece of evidence. I'm sorry, but where? I see the truth here in my mind's eye. I've tried to explain it in a simpler fashion for you. I'm alright. There's something missing from this scene in front of me. And I'll show Mr. Nero what's off to that piece of evidence. Okay, there's something missing. Okay, maybe I have to do a bit more logic reasoning-y. Spill grape juice. Where was the killer? Was the killer in the elevator? Ooh! True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. Proof the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. I don't know what to deduce yet, so I can't really say anything. Something is missing. Is there more reasoning? I don't know. Prove that there's a filled view in front of the elevator. Oh! I can do this. I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding rather than... wait, the proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? But if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means, Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Looked like footage of something being dragged. Are you in need of assistance? Captain's permission. Let's talk to her. I really need to talk to her. Mr. Nero, I'd like to ask you about investigating the lounge. As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around. If you could pass the message along, tell him I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation. I will, however, please realize that you're still under suspicion. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you. Of course, and I take no offense. Do you really understand what I'm saying? Yes, verily. Do you pinky swear you do on your honor as a professional prosecutor? I pinky swear I do on my honor as a professional prosecutor. Well, I guess that settles that. I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. Okay, about the victim. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Mr. Nero. Yes, I can't help but notice the sad atmosphere in here. Yes, it is a rather tragic crime. I'll say, robbing the poor man after bludgeoning him to death top pot rubbing in the salt. I believe I mentioned this earlier, but no money was stolen from Mr. Hicks. Oh yes, you did. Sorry for the accusation. But I still insist that there is something off or missing from when he was at his seat. Since there's something off or missing from when he was at his seat. Oh, something is missing? I can't forgive someone who would do this to a passenger of mine. I swear as a professional flight attendant that I will capture the culprit with my own hands. And I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over all of the leads I've collected so far one more time. The key to solving this lies at the intersection of my logic and the evidence. Can I go up? I want to check. Let me go. Let me go. So let's present evidences to her. Prosecutor's badge. Even if you show that to me, I still cannot allow you to free reign. I'm sorry, but I must admit that I still have my doubts about you. Guilty until proven innocent, I see. If these footprints do in fact belong to the culprit, then I would say it was very careless to leave them. If I was a killer, I swear that as a professional killer, I'll never leave footprints behind. That's all well and good, but I'm afraid it's little use in our pursuit of the killer. I feel like I'm still missing a link or two. I'm lost. Wait. Oh, he's missing this cell phone thingy. Okay, got it. Let's deduce this. Let's present this. Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Mr. Nero. Ah, so I guess because it's not here, yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. The victim supposedly had one, but has gone missing. Did the killer take it? Investigation complete! Yay! What's going on over there? Oh god, LeBlanc. You are not allowed to be here. Unforgivable, this is unforgivable. Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late. There's the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you're innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense. Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself. Jesus, man. What I saw. I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusion seemed to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So my eyewitness testimony, if you think you can destroy it, then come and let me see. Hurry, do I look like a man who's having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. What I saw... Certain assumptions enter the elevator. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at the time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man.
Hold it!
Was he really alone? Of course, I will not bet even 1 cent. I will bet even 1 cent, sorry. A cheap ant for a cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play it, I'll happily take your 1 cent. It's when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12.
Hold it!
I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking, is that correct? Oh, you notice it is a very expensive antique. I will have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand. It does look very well designed, quite classy. I will have to charge you if you want to touch it. That's quite alright. Let's continue with your testimony. What a cheap man you are. Now return the time you wasted back to me. If you must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock. Body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes?
Hold it!
It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15, and that's when I found the two of them as well. You see, it all matches with my testimony. Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. No, your silly opinion is what is mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken. And if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. I spied a hole in his words. As you wish, Mr. LeBlanc. I will now show you proof of my innocence. Looks like footprints and something being dragged. Probably have to present this, right? Okay, present. This is the only thing I can think of. Body part 6 inside on it was hit on the back of the head.
Objection!
Okay, correct. Yay! Mr. LeBlanc, what is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There are the spilled grape juice. Yes, and we admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. The footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? What? Can you please translate for us? No way, that's totally impossible, I guess is what he said. No way, that is totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right, he doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just once more, will you call the details of what you witnessed for me? It has to be a crew member then. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one. Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? Ah, no, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. So, are you still upset now? I'm always upset. The only time I'm not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. I was always checking the time over and over again.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time in money. Do you understand the point? Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? A summary of the plot and start time. Interesting. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim and Murder. I don't see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong, it's matched the schedule. But the movie was still late, very, very late. Your pocket watch, I'd like to ask you a little more about it if that's alright. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes! I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim and Murder. Mr. Nero, was this movie shown on this flight? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense, you doubt me? No, how? Now stop pointing at me like that. Odd, how did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch a great number of times, that much I know for sure. And what is set to my destination's time? I always set it when I board the plane.
Hold it!
You are sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc? Yes, of course, I'm a very busy man. I'm immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch. I see, that was a very valuable statement you just made. So he made it into the destination time, so maybe the time that the destination and what the flight actually does with the timing is different. Flatter me all you want, but you will not get 1 cent out of me. That's alright. All I require is this piece of testimony. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me.
Hold it!
Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance. Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing. And how can you be so sure? Just because. I would appreciate if you didn't take my life so lightly, but simple, just because. Well then I was only making a joke. I saw Mr. Hicks alright. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering.
Hold it!
Is it possible that someone was hiding inside? What? You dare insult me? I have belief in my eyesight. When I look for art to sell, I am told often I have great sight for the arts. I think the phrase you were looking for was great sense, although that's debatable. But isn't it possible someone was just outside of your line of sight? You are persistent, I tell you. I looked clearly. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one.
Hold it!
Why do you insist that you're absolutely not mistaken? Because when I say I'm not wrong, I am not wrong. Mr. LeBlanc, if I may, I think beyond misconceptions and mistake lies the truth. Funny, that suspiciously mirrors something I told her only a little while ago. I honestly don't think that Mr. LeBlanc is lying. I don't think he's lying either. But I think he might be mistaken about something. Mistaken? Yes, and I'm going to correct his mistaken recollection with evidence. And this professional attendant shall witness the prowess of a professional prosecutor. Where's the time one? So... Okay. Movie was 6 to 8. But all time shown correspond to a departure time zone. Exactly.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to destination time when we came on board. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Mr. Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at the transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we are still running on Borginian time. What? The time difference between Borginian and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. What? Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changed everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1 million cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 AM. Bro, it's gonna fly away. My 1 million cents! This should clear up all of the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame, the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 AM. It means that the time of death could be anywhere between 3 to 6:15 AM. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are... I'm Camille. Is it chamomile? I'm a flight attendant. And what is it you wish to say? Well, I think the story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 AM, you know. What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right, he pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. Ah, the stop we made from refueling and cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct? Yes, it was around 4 to 5 AM according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave or did any new ones board this flight? No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhengfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically I can assume that no one left or got on since the initial takeoff. Interesting, I should keep that in mind. Made a brief stop from 4 AM to 5 AM to transfer cargo and refuel at transfer point. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Agby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 AM. Mr. Agby Hicks was there in his seat when he took off again at 5 AM. Alright then, that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 AM. Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edward? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. Ah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? And you're the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then how do we explain the footprints? Is not that obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. What time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. And everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? Well, do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge? In-flight shop. In-flight shop? Probably this.
Take that!
The murder weapon, this little piggy bank, is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there and is not displayed here in this lounge. How, then, did it find its way here? Don't you find that tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. Only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? Hold it! If I may. What is it? You see? Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it, Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. Then you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely called someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now, is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? Hold it. What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten, but I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Nero? It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are. You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. So, see, unlike you, I do things the right way. Mr. Nero, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Mr. Nero that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. I want to go up. Weren't we going to go to the in-flight shop? Of course, I still fully intend to. Okay, well, the shop is over there. Don't forget now. Miss Mail, about investigating the in-flight shop. You're of no use to me asleep. Wake up! Huh? What's up? I need you to come with me so I can search the shop. Go on ahead without me. I'll catch up with you later. How has this woman not been fired yet? Oh, I'm really mad. You had better hurry and bring to me some evidence. If you could wait just a little while longer while we look into the shop. Oh, you don't have any authority here. Why are you being so annoying? Don't number the birds before they're born. Don't number the what? I have no idea what he's trying to say. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, perhaps? All I ask of you is your patience and cooperation. Bye-bye. March 12, 8:32 AM. Flight G390, first floor, in-flight shop. So, this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Teehee. Hold on! You can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. The blood on it is still fresh. Could it be the murder weapon? There is a very good chance the killer had paid this place a visit. Begin investigation. Let's check this. Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. I feel clenched just by looking at them. Well, you're kind of stepping on a few of them, you know, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, excuse me. Inside display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale. We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? I sense that the shop is one shopper away from being sued. Yeah, like, dude, in an emergency and you're trying to get money? Bro, that's so weird. What are these? Oh, those are a company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then buy. No way, but either way, it doesn't really matter. True, either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they've boarded the plane? Anyways, see that? Just look at all the Captain Ugo heads painted on there. Cute company's mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling a refined taste. You look like you really want to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest in it to begin with. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? The suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda. Mr. Nero designed this. Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Haha, sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe? I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so meh. Mr. Nero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. Ah, what the hell? You okay? I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Mail. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. Plane shaking causes it to roll in flight. Suitcase displays can be hazardous. Here, I'll put it back. Huh. What does this mean? There is a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases. You know what I suggest? Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip. Okay, then how about you buy something for me then, as a present? I can't think of a single reason why I want to buy you anything. But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something and then we'll talk. I don't know much about the shop, but you can still ask me about whatever. Notice anything? So what do you think about what has happened regarding this case? Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I can assure you that I'm here in the shop to prove just the opposite. Yeah, but it was me that got you the permission to look around. You know. So don't forget that, okay? So she's threatening me as well. How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep? Well, you know what really show you thanks? You see that item for sale over there? Sorry, but you're gonna have to make do with my words of appreciation. Oh wait, I can present something as well. Prosecutor's badge. Oh, I'd love to have this piece of jewelry. Can I have it? No, you may not. This is the prosecutor's badge. Then why did you show it to me? I wanted to prove to you that I really am a prosecutor. And that it's not possible for a prosecutor like me to commit such a crime as... what about one karma? We have so many prosecutors who have committed crimes, unfortunately. See that I'm just wasting my time with cousin hair over here. Okay, let's check. So what is that? Are you going to give it to me? Oh, but I'm not supposed to accept any presents. Unless they're really worth something. Miss Rhoda said that this piggy bank was in the shop, right? Don't you find her tiny bit suspicious? I don't think I can say either way yet. There's not enough evidence to convince me that she was lying about anything back here. Are you sure about that? Like I said earlier, I was the one answering people's calls while we were refueling in Zhengfa, and Mr. Hicks was in his seat at the time. What time was that again? He called it around 5 AM. You were at your seat around then too, you know. I do recall people calling for service around that time. Even if this turns out to be a waste of time, I must stand firm. I just know that there is a vital clue or two awaiting me here in this shop. Okay, I don't know why Chamomile, okay, what is her name? Mile has against De Niro, but I feel like whenever someone is trying to push something, like, hey, it's you who is the killer, I feel like, I'm suspicious of them. The glass from this display case door is shattered all over the floor, and it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. It's a tiny captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. Male is holding one with a captain hat. Okay. Stuffed toys just like the one Miss Mail is holding are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edward? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? Okay, let's check this. There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for sale in this display case, and they're lined up in such a manner as to scream, "Buy me!" to any passers-by. Okay, I guess we gotta do some logic. Chinese captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. Victim glass are broken. Were they broken during this border? Rain shaking caused it to roll. In fact, suitcase displays can be hazardous. This and this, I don't know. I got no clue. Nope. Not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic. Murder weapon. Blood on it is still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? Okay, maybe this and the tiny captain's hat. Yep. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. Yeah, because the stuffed toys have it. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from the display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? For the crime scene, culprit must have shattered the display case glass to take it. Huh? Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything? I sense that further inspection of the display case is needed. Okay, let's further inspect. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Is this the same man as the one portrayed with the statues around the elevator? Yeah, that's a paperweight of the founder of GoYou Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes. On the bottom shelf, we have the cute ones, the middle ones, and this realistic one. And on the top shelf, that's the floral version. Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess. You just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. Wait, there's something I can deduce. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. It's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly. Ah! What is it? I touched the glass and it cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts! Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. GoYou Airlines related books line the shelf. The history of GoYou Airlines, the future of GoYou Airlines, the 7 wonders of GoYou, fight on GoYou Airlines, working name Hugo Airlines, you go you! That does make it very clear that they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. Maybe it fell out. Culprit must have shattered the display case glass to take it. Or maybe it fell down during the... what do you call it? There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Captain's Ergo's bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'll be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope, there isn't. Which means that the glass is broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time too. Eh? That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Ergo bank from here after the turbulence. The plane shook so much during it that it made a huge mess of the shop. Is taken out of its display case in the in-flight shop after turbulence. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Mail, and listen when I'm talking. But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake? Yes, at this point there's a very real possibility. But what if when the killer went to take Captain Ergo, they broke the glass by accident? The display case is locked, so that's highly... Wait, I need to read again. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Miss Rhoda De Niro, huh? I guess we have to do some logic. Victim glasses are broken. Were they broken during this murder? During his murder? Pain took so much dirt, it made a huge mess of the shop. Pain's shaking caused it to roll in flight case to play chemicals. Okay. Yes, there is definitely something wrong here. What with the sudden yelling? Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Oh, well, sure, they totally ooze strange, like the color and the such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention. Ah, you're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after the creator, hee. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon close inspection, they really are quite hideous. Hee. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What's unusual about this suitcase? There's no stop in this one. But there's a stop in this one.
Take that!
This is what is so odd. I don't think it's that strange at all. Well, maybe not to that extent. Must overthink this. I should let the answer come. Okay, maybe I have to press this one.
Take that!
Okay, oh my god! Literally, I was just... Oh my god, nothing. There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And... so it's very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Let's open it. This was apparently designed by Miss De Niro herself. Design has a certain je ne sais. I don't know how to say the last one about it. Perhaps that is the best way to put it. It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth! And it's soaked with blood. Ah! It's blood! It appears that the suitcase is very strongly tied to a murder after all. Investigation complete! So explain this to me. What does the suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner, such as to move something perhaps. But aren't you just talking about the cloth then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is... wouldn't it be... Agby Hicks? The thing I believe... Okay, I cannot present Agby. Okay, I wish I could present this instead. Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? Yes! Found inside the suitcase is a beautiful pamphlet has been soiled by blood. But, in light of this, I'll say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Why is she, I think she's the one who's done it, because she keeps on diverting the thing, and like, usually she's so like airheaded, she doesn't really care what's happening, but she's trying to make it seem like Rhoda did it. In light of this, I'll say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing, just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edward, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'll appreciate if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's the only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Aw, she's nice. Now. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I have found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Mail reminded me about Miss Dinero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. Wait! She has the thing around her scarf. Around her neck. Is it not there right now? To be continued. Oh. Okay, we are continuing with the airline case. I was planning to not do it, but I'm really interested. So I just want to finish episode 2 and then I'll stop for today. March 12th, 1 p.m. local time, Hope Springs Airport. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over, and thanks to Miss Dinero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Dinero in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Oh, what is her name? Oh my god. Franziska! Yeah, Franziska. I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. She's kind of like an adoptive, younger sister also for him, right? Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating actually. I'd hoped to expect my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Wait, it has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. I'm a misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed the man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I've investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I have no intention to. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Too slow. Ow! Listen up, I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well, in that case, I have a few questions for you. Let's talk to everyone. Lunchland. Not bad, I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. Which should I go with? I recommend our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. Is this the one where we did it with that case with the other two sisters? I forgot their names. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. What a view of the planes preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. Also, this guy who's eating is, I feel like he's that guy who was with there was that, oh my god, I can't remember, the movie set case with Phoenix. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Nom 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 nom, I'm so very trashy. I wolf flags, lunch boxes, each do. Found it, lol. Oh, I feel a wave of crazy powers coming on. It's over 9,000 lols. My next loot money is gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna be rockers, so many boxers. So Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie, and it's gonna be made by him. Okay, Detective Gumshoe. Initial investigation. So how is the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office, and we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Francisca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'll say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, even I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kinda creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly, and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Francisca Von Karma. Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. You should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation, starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Can I present evidence? Wait, I can go there. Oh my god. March 12th, 1:37 PM, flight G390, second floor, first class. So you must be the captain. Why, yes I am, and who might you be? I'm the prodigy's prosecutor, Francisca Von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. I love all their sprites already. Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. Well, what are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear Captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure, you don't want to ask the Captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave the type of witness to Francisca and her whip. Ah! Man, they didn't eat their food also, that's so sad. March 12th, 1:40 PM, flight G390, first floor lounge. Now see here! Ah! Sorry, I'm sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc? Oh, it is you! Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. So let's go up. I want to examine everything. The man in the seat was constantly drinking something. You know, right before payday, I do nothing but drink the soup from my instant noodles. That much sodium can't be healthy. You might want to go in for a checkup. Ho! Do you really think I was serious, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, sir. I'll never make another joke like that again. So cute. I love Edgeworth's front profile photo. Oh, Gumshoes is also so cute. What's this? What is it, detective? Did you find an important piece of evidence? A giant parfait on top of bread and steak? Paint me jealous, sir. It's a feast. Maybe I should just let him have the giant parfait so that we can move on. Yeah, just eat. I don't know if it's good to eat somebody else's. The man in the seat was the one we just saw out in the airport lobby hyperventilating. If he's so scared to fly, then why take an airplane to begin with? Yeah, if he's that scared, he should have called a ferry or a cruise ship or something. By the way, were you okay with all the turbulence, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, it was nothing I couldn't handle. I should have figured, right? As if you'll get on a plane if you were scared of them. Indeed. This was my seat. Wow, you read law books even when you're flying, sir? Were you expecting anything less? Now come along, we must hurry to the crime scene. Hold on a second. There's a different book stuck in here. The Steel Samurai's ever... Detective Gumshoe, am I going to have to charge you with invasion of privacy? Okay, this is probably the guy's thing. This was the victim's seat. His jacket's just lying there and his spilled leftover coffee's still there too. I don't suppose anyone ever expects to die. Yee. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, this urn's got a seatbelt strapped tightly around it. It must be of great value to Mr. LeBlanc then. Yeah, I guess if you don't want to churn your urn, then it's always best to buckle up. Obviously, but did that have anything to do with the case, detective? Nobody gets my jokes. Aww. Francisca, I'd like to ask you about the investigation. Miles Edgeworth, can't you see that I'm in the middle of staking this statement? This man is only captain in title. I'm going to teach him to do his job properly. Yes, let's go, Francisca. Oh, okay, from now on I'll keep my focus and take my responsibilities seriously. He's really trembling there. If it makes him take his job seriously, it's not such a bad thing, is it? Why are you looking at me like that, sir? What did I ever do to deserve this? More than this job, all I truly love is my sweet Cammy. Might I suggest you not say all this at this moment in front of Francisca? If I may have a word with you, Miss Meal. No, you may not have a word with me. I don't want to talk to any other man except for the captain right now. Me too, Cammy. I will never talk to another woman. Ah! This definitely looks like a job for Francisca. I leave it up to you, Francisca. I don't want to handle guys at all. Okay, do I have to continue investigating? Oh man, there's a really pretty lady in that plane over there. Ah, she's looking over here. Quick, sir, wave at her with me, please. I refuse to be a wingman on this. They've got a piano on this plane. Hey, do you think I can try it out, sir? I think you would know better than to randomly touch things at a crime scene, detective. Besides, I didn't know you knew how to play. Of course I do, I'm practically proficient. Interesting, the things you learn about people on a daily basis. I can get do and re to come out just right, sir. 2 notes does not a proficient pianist. Wait, 2 notes does not make a proficient pianist detective. Oh my god, I think there was something wrong in that, but it's fine. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special. Oh, looks like it's an English trivia quiz. Oh, I've got one. What starts with I and means boldly rude and disrespectful? The answer is most definitely insolent. Time's up. Sorry, sir, but the correct answer is insolvent. Detective Gumshoe, don't tell me your English ability is at the same level as him. Okay, this is wrapped up. Looks like we can't go beyond here, sir. Plus, the body has been sent off to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Hey, this statue. What about it, detective? Did you notice something? I saw this guy in a dream last night. The resemblance is uncanny, sir. You saw him in your dreams? Well, yeah, I saw him and then I arrested him. I wanted to show you just how vital I am in our partnership. Being useful in your sleep is of no help to me in the real world, detective. Let's talk to this forever angry guy. Did you finish taking his statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I'm not concerned if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. LeBlanc's cargo. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. Kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Yeah, that is true. Ooh. Do we have that? But it also looks like... I feel like it's the one which maybe the Miss... Wait, what was it? Like she was, I think, maybe wearing a thing, I'm not sure. Let me present this. Mr. Blanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Virginian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course, this fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more. Well, if it was export of Virginia, its beautiful pattern has been soiled by blood. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier? No, my cargo this time is much many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. Stubbornness of you, please. It is no good. It is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss De Niro. What is it? Do you have some use for me? You seem not to understand. I have no time to waste. Let me put it another way. Let them say whatever. There may be another language will get through your head. I understood you perfectly fine in English. Rhoda Tenero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendance room for her interview, and then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Francisca. Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendants' room? Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Okay, got it. Francisca's logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Francisca? Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you used to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Okay, rebuttal time. Stop complicating things and go with the most obvious conclusion.
Hold it!
Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. You say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see she hasn't changed a bit, but I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered.
Hold it!
So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more? Are you saying that there is more I need to know? Aha! Why did you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Francisca doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. From the time the victim was seen calling for the attendant until his body was found.
Hold it!
What do you mean by seen? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 AM. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
While it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time, that fact alone does not make me the criminal.
Objection!
We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow! Quite, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he is not a criminal. Francisca, I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. The likeliest suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. So it would appear that she doesn't yet know about the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. Okay, so probably here. I'm gonna save though. Okay, present. This was used to transfer the body. It was designed by Miss Rhoda Tenero. This.
Objection!
It would appear that you do not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used his suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all. Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose the suitcase as a good place to hide that cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. But did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there's proof of that. Where is the proof that the suitcase was moved around? Is it this? Transfer cargo and refuel at transfer point. Something being dragged. Oh, so it looks like footprint and something being dragged. This?
Take that!
Okay, the spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here? This mark here, wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you have come to your senses. Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Francisca's logic part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of a turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended it to be the discoverer of the body. Okay, that is pushing it, bro. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in our logic in one fell swoop. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass like this. Ow! You've shattered my heart of glass. So she wants to talk about the inside shop and the Captain Ugo bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtain the murder weapon. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to that. Wait 1 minute. Wait. After the turbulence. Figure out where this in the in-flight shop after the turbulence. Okay, that's the thing probably.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. I thought you'll say that. What? Did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide that blood splatter in the lounge. By accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it. Are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now? We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak. And what do you propose I did after that? And then while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase. So I put the victim's body into the suitcase then where was I headed, Francisca? That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to the first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. We're talking about this thing, you know. I'll hardly call it discreet or ordinary. Annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator. But unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. How is that supposed to happen? You've experienced turbulence on a flight before. Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while. The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second. Good thing it was only for a second, sir. It's been bad if you had really blanked out. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blanking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. That's enough of your idle chatter. I am not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you really think I would be so easily caught?
Attention!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now. Ah! I have to find a contradiction fast or I won't have much of my own hide left to save. I have to say, you are looking rather caught right now, and I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge. And pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body. I suppose that's true. So then you're yielding to my statements? Don't be foolish. I still insist that you're the killer, but in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. Her logic is reasonably sound, is it? Is it? And the large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right. Yep, I know. present this. This was after the turbulence.
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Ugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Agby Hicks. You there! Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence, and the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgewood, it appears his stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Francisca, the person you're talking about... Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct an investigation. Yes, it is a sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Mr. Nero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Are you going to join me? Mr. Nero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. That blue door over there leads to flight attendant's room, sir. Alright, let's go and see what Mr. Nero has to say for herself. Let me save. Okay, notice anything. Anything of interest, detective? Well, I can see that I don't quite know everything about the situation yet. So I was just telling myself that I should go ask someone about the stuff I don't know. I mean, just because I don't know it doesn't mean someone else might know it, might not know it, right? It must be my imagination, but for a second I think I actually understood his logic. Francisca's logic. Way to show her who's boss, Mr. Edgeworth. But not even Miss Von Karma's whip is a match for you. You give me too much credit. She simply didn't have all the information. To be sure, the fights will become tougher and tougher as this investigation progresses. That's alright, Mr. Edgeworth. You've got me watching your back. I'll make sure to keep on supporting you any way I can. You just have to say the word, sir. Really? And how about standing out in front and absorbing whiplashes for me? No, I mean he did absorb a lot, in my humble opinion. Okay, let's go. March 12th, 2:23 p.m. Flight G390, first floor, flight attendant's room. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Also, the scarf is irrelevant. It's blue. I'm an idiot. I thought it was going to be some other color. Mr. Nero. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Can you please help us and shed some light on what you did, on why you did what you did? Alright. Can I investigate other stuff? What is all this junk inside these boxes? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. That's our lost and found, Mr. Edgeworth. Gold crowns and swords and necklaces? It's like a treasure trove in here, sir. The fact that these were left on the plane implies that they were carried onto it to begin with. Something tells me it's time for Goyu to send its metal detectors out for repairs. And what are inside these boxes? Oh, those are some of the souvenirs I bought in Virginia. There's so many, there's even a second box. Well, yes, I find that folk art from around the world does great things for my creativity. Those suitcases certainly could have done with a whole lot less of your creativity. It's one of those suitcases designed by Miss Dinero. You can tell it's hardly ever been used by the lack of even a single scratch on it. There is sure to be a clue of some sort in this trash can. Detective Gumshoe, if you please. Yes, sir, you just leave the rummaging to me. Scruffy, how dare you go through a woman's trash without her permission? Have you no sense of honor? I'm sorry, I'm just doing what Mr. Edgeworth told me to do. Ow! Forgive me, detective. It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I'm almost certain that the well-kept one up top belongs to Miss Dinero. Ew, this bottom one is a giant mess. You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man. You dare to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy? Yow! There's something in life best kept to yourself, detective. I like Francisca. Well, go on, let's hear our troublesome attendant out. In due time, I do have one thing I'd like to ask you. Yes? Do you plan to continue using the whip for the foreseeable future? Of course, I've wrangled many a testimony out of people thanks to it. Yeah, and probably a whole lot of ton of yelps. Ow! And I'm willing to bet that the majority of them came from you, detective. Okay, what about this? What exactly is this panel for? Oh, that's the emergency control panel for the elevator. We used it to stop the elevator on the first floor and to keep its doors open. Okay, what's over here? Oh wait, this is just a... Huh? Are these the same? Keep out cabin class. So these are the attendants' lockers, huh? Let's hurry up and examine them, sir. Why must men always be so rude? Besides, who exactly gave you permission to search through the attendants' lockers? Wait, detective. It would be uncouth of us to look in a woman's locker without her permission. Yeah, I guess so. Plus, I feel this murderous draft and I can sense a whip not far ahead. Okay, let's talk. Okay, let's talk to this guy first. This door leads to the cargo hold, but I can't let you through without Miss Von Karma's express permission. That's not a bad way to handle the situation if it was any old case, but this isn't. So between you and Miss Von Karma, who's better at their job? Oh, there is no comparison to be made, detective. None. Me, of course. Duh. Captain's permission. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? Because he likes Cammy the most. The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Meal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove her innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Dinero, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve. In-flight shop. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After a visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Miss Dinero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. Wait, sorry. Actually, I can examine it. For there to be this much blood on this piece of cloth, was the victim wrapped in it at some point? According to Mr. LeBlanc, the textile is fairly famous. What a waste. Okay, let's present this. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Dinero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about this suitcase. You're the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about the suitcase? Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that it was the last one there. The last one there? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't know how to answer you. As a professional flight attendant, I am a failure. She must be worn out from the long questioning session she just went through. The last suitcase. So you think, Mr. Nero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at the suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? I think it'll go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it, personally as a service professional. Well, that is, how should I put this? It's hideous. What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible! I'm sure there were only 1. Looks like her story has generated quite a contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Mr. Nero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? That's... I thought he said there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. She's used it for a long time? I think not. Mr. Nero, I appreciate if you wouldn't lie to me. I mean, the tag is there. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Mr. Nero says? This.
Take that!
Tell me, Mr. Nero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? Ah! What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Mr. Nero, I think I understand. I know what you are trying to hide. Now then, the suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought the suitcase was... you.
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly the design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I'd finally accomplished something. The suitcases didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them, either. We weren't selling a single one and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I work. You buy one every single time you work at a flight? I see, so in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt for the purchase. This receipt is clearly time-stamped 5:40 AM. Bought in the in-flight shop and timestamp says 5:40 AM. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Mr. Nero, where are these other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcases the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases too? Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. Ah! How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. Mr. Nero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through the door there. And what about security? That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room. You need a special key card that only crew members have access to. Cammy did it. Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Yes, Francisca? Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the One Karma name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. The fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their keycard. Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. The other attendant, Miss Meal, I asked her earlier and she had this to say. Francisca got information out of Miss Meal. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah! What? Is this true, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. Ah! I don't believe it! What's wrong? The key card, it's gone. Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through. Wait, it's not like that. You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth. She didn't do it. It's Cammy. She could easily have stolen it. What's wrong? There's this disbelief written all over your face. Francisca, I know that you're the lead investigator on this case, however. Hold it! Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. To be continued. Ooh.